What's going on, guys? It's a midday with Miz. I had to come on. I haven't been doing videos lately. Been a little busy. But we're getting closer to the Giants season. You can feel the juice. And New York is juiced up with two teams this year. First of all, I want to say two things before I get to Andrew Thomas today. Number one, there's a reason why Barkley's loved across the entire league, especially in the Northeast. Now, I'm down in Florida, and people down here love him, and they're not Giant fans. They talk about Dolphin fans who love the kid. This kid's a class act. The way he carries himself, he's a mensch. His character spits out energy, man. This is just a good soul. He could have sat out, been a jerk, and had the right to get the extra $2 or $3 million that he wanted, like running backs in the past. But this man just want to play football. He knows he's the leader of the team, the face of the franchise. And he shows a true class, not holding out not even one day. He tells his agent, I'm going to camp. Gets the extra $900,000 or whatever $1 million that the Giants are slipping him. And I told you guys a week ago, people laughed at me, that the Giants will find a way to slip him money. And just because it's not out there officially, don't think there's not ways for the owner to take care of a kid on the down low. You know, a little extra check in your Christmas sock come Christmas. The kid comes to play. He's a beast. And make no mistake about it, the Giants are not the same offense at all without him. Love Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones needs Barkley next to him. You go look at the stats Daniel Jones has with Barkley and games without Barkley. And that speaks volumes. Go look at it. Now, good job. Great job by Joe Schoen. This guy is a beast of a GM. Wanted him 2 weeks before we fired Judge. You knew that Getelman was probably out the door. And I was a big Getelman guy. And I'm going to get to that at the end of this video. But Joe Schoen and Dabo are doing a hell of a job. You can see that they're building a football team. The Giants are a tight, young, solid football team. They are not complete yet. But a lot of the pieces are emerging, and you can tell by the contracts. The fact that these guys are keeping a lot of these Getelman guys, I don't care what anybody says, Getelman guys, tells you a lot. That they see that there's a lot of talent here. There are players for the long term. So Joe Schoen, one hell of a beast of a job, standing firm with the best running back in the league. Standing, staring him in a stare down. And getting him to come in for pretty much the money that you stood your line with. And you weren't going to go over the line you drew. That's a great job, man. Because in the past, these running backs have sat out, caused trouble, missed 2 or 3 games. Le'Veon Bell sat out a season, and he got his contract from the Jets, which I don't think was a good job by the Jets. What else is new? But he wasn't the same back ever again. Emmitt Smith back in the days had to do what he had to do because Dallas was built for a Super Bowl. They were in a dynasty run, and Emmitt knew that he was the biggest piece, and it worked out in his favor as Dallas, I believe, started out 0-2 that year without him, and then they hurried him back in and paid him. But that was a different story because the Giants are not that team at this moment. Great job by Joe Schoen, man. Great job. And giving Barkley a little extra, make him feel good, save face. And I think we'll be revisiting this story again next year. As next year's tag for Barkley will be $13 million. And I believe we're going to do this again. I believe they'll probably tag him again. Unless he's really unhappy, then they'll let him go or trade him. But I believe Barkley needs to be here for the majority of his career. So you tag him $13 million, or you come up with something a little bit better than that. Listen, man. Carl Banks, I believe, was big in bringing Barkley back. His message, his rant about Barkley has to stay in New York. His brand will never be good anywhere else. And I'm pretty sure Odell Beckham would back up Banks on that. Because I don't care what anybody says. The year after Odell was traded, all he ever tried to do was get back to New York for like 3 years. And injuries kind of hurt that. And I'm pretty sure on the phone he would have told Barkley, stay in New York. You're not going to make any more money off the field anywhere than you will in New York City, in the New York, New Jersey metropolitan area. You have a brand, and if you watched a lot of great players come through from the Giants in the past, they went on to broadcasting careers and other type of careers. So I believe Carl Banks' message resonated very loudly with Barkley as he came in, 2 days after that message? Hey, as a fan base, you just got to be happy, man. You want this team together. They're a very tight team. You're bringing back almost the whole team again. A playoff winning team last year. And look, this team's ready to go. Let's be honest right now. The Giants will go as far as Daniel Jones takes them this year. It's all on Daniel Jones now. The team is strong all around. You got two lines on both lines of the scrimmage that are top 10s in the league. You got a stud safety back there. A strong corners. You have a mix of wide receivers. You definitely have speed. And Barkley could be poised for one of his best years of his career because this New York Giants football O-line for the first time in a decade is a really strong O-line. And you added the monster center. And I'm telling you, Evan Neal is going to take that step that Andrew Thomas took from first year to second year this year. You're going to see it. A lot of people poo-pooed Evan Neal last year. Well, he never came back from that knee injury. He tried to come back fast and work hard for the Giants. He's a grinder, but he was never right on that knee. And you added a tight end, so you got two tight ends now. Bellinger. Right? Warren, you got one of the top tight end duels in football. There's no disputing it. There are no excuses for Daniel Jones. This is the year Daniel Jones takes the step big. The Giants go as far as Daniel Jones takes them. Because they have the running game. And they have the tight ends. They got a strong O-line. And I'll make a case the Giants have a top 5, top 6, 7 defense in the NFL. And the interior D-line for the Giants might be the best in football. You want to laugh? You're going to find out. Dexter, Leo, and Alshon. This is a monster interior line. And when you're making a pick for a breakout year, I've already told people the Mrs. Breakout Player of the Year will be Kayvon Thibodeau with 10 sacks. I think he's going to be a monster off the edge this year. Better than Aziz. The New York Giants signed Andrew Thomas today to $117 million mega deal, and he deserves every penny of it. You make the case outside of Trent on the Niners, Andrew Thomas is the best tackle in the NFL, and he's young. And people poo-pooed him when he was drafted. His first year he struggled. They called him a bust, and I laughed. Andrew Thomas is the best tackle in the NFL when you consider his age. And now you locked him up along with the monster on the other side of the line, Dexter. Joe Shane doing all the right things. And if you look ahead to next year, the Giants have a ton of money. Scary. A ton of money. And that's why I say the Giants are 1 year away from embarking on a monster run for a bunch of years to come with this young team. They got a lot of money next year. And you did a smart contract with Daniel Jones. You locked him up for 2 years, not 4. And said, show me if you want the other 2 or 3 years. So if you wanted to make a move and go get a QB and a heavy QB draft next year, it's there for you to bring in a kid behind Jones to learn for a year or 2. The Giants are set up so well, thanks to Joe Shane and Dabble. But the Miz is going to go somewhere where a lot of young kids are going to eat some crow right now. Remember David Getelman? You guys pulled him. He was old. He traded away Odell, who's never been the same since the day the Giants traded him. Huh? You got Dexter Lawrence out of that trade. Remember Getelman? You poo-pooed him. He sucks. He's old. You blamed him for everything that let's be honest, Mara did the damage and Getelman was the punching bag. I've told you guys this before. Well, how's it looking now, brothers? How's it looking now that all Getelman's players are emerging? This New York Football Giants team is decorated with Getelman players. I don't care if they were drafted in the first and second rounds. I'm not going to go through the list of names. Actually, I will. Jones, Barkley, Thomas, Dexter. Huh? McKinney. I mean, we could go on and on here. Right? Slayton. Some people don't love him, but he's been an addition. And I think he's going to get better. Your darling Saquon Barkley. Yo, there's a lot of players. This team's decorated with Getelman all over the place. Yes, Joe Shane's the right guy right now and Dabo. The only knock on Getelman, and I give the credit to Pat on this one, he's always said it, is Getelman wasn't able to get the right head coach here. And again, a lot of that was Mara. And when Getelman wanted Parsons, they held him down. And this guy, Judge, was allowed to pick his guy. Getelman made the trade back, which ended up getting us Neal and Thibs in the next draft. But Judge wanted Tony. Getelman wanted Parsons. Earlier. You got Tony. And I swore to my life the night we drafted him that he was a circus clown. And he still is a circus clown. He's still taking days off. His toes hurt, his knees hurt, everything hurts. Won a Super Bowl? That's nice. Yo, I could have taken you or me out of a park and put us on Kansas City Chiefs, and we would have won a Super Bowl. How do you like that? Did he have a punt return? Yeah, he played great in that fourth quarter. But the Kansas City Chiefs were poised to go anyway. They've been going for the last few years, so it didn't matter who they plugged in. Call me a hater. That guy, Tony, was a disease here, and that's why he was gone. It was a terrible pick from day one. Wasn't a Getelman pick. It was a Joe Judge thing. A Mara thing. Obsessed with getting a receiver. Well, that's all in the past. We've moved on. But I want to give cookies today. Because Barkley came in like a class act that he is. And Andrew Thomas was locked up to a big contract. Dexter Lawrence is a beast in the NFL. We got these guys long-term because these guys believe that these are monster pieces to our future. Today, the Miz want to tell all the young fools out there that got it all wrong. Take your biasness and stick it on the side for a moment and really take a look at the players Getelman's given this Giants and this future for this team. David Getelman, his players are decorated across this team. And today, Andrew Thomas, a monster in the NFL. Dexter Lawrence, a monster in the NFL. Leo Williams, a strong player that Getelman went out and traded for. Hey. Sometimes you gotta swallow your pride and give a man his credit. And I tip my hat. I've said it all along. The man knows talent. The man knew what he was doing. He didn't have the right coach. And he had an owner that was completely mingling. And you know how it is when your boss pays you big money. You gotta do what your boss asks you to do. A lot of times. That's just the way it works. So for all the shit Getelman has taken, I want people to recognize what the man has done. The players he's installed in this team. Yo, the Giants are coming. I don't know if they're a Super Bowl team this year. But the Giants, to me, are knocking on the door. Honestly, they might be a year away from the real big stuff. But you gotta love that. They're keeping the team together. The foundation is strong, and they're coming off a playoff win, so they've gotten some experience. The Giants will go as far as Daniel Jones takes us this year. It's a little early for predictions, but people know I got the Giants pinned around the 10-win mark. 9 to 10 wins. I told people Barkley was the difference of 2 wins. If you didn't have him, it would be 2 less wins. You have him on the field healthy, it's 2 more wins. And that's the difference of the Giants making the playoffs or not. I believe the Giants are going to fight for the division right into the last week of the season. I'm not telling you they're going to win the division, but they will play in the last week of the season. I believe with still a chance to win the division. The Eagles are strong on paper, very strong. But you got to play the game. You got to play the entire season. And teams rarely do what they did the year before, the following year, especially after a Super Bowl loss. Yo, today, I tip my cap to the players Getelman has given this franchise. Mainly because so many haters hated. I'm the Miz.